What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? Commander Rio Robinson checking in with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. And today we're going to preview preseason week 2. We have a bigger test this week as we got the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. So I had to get somebody who is very cognizant of what's going on in Kansas City. I got my guy Matt Connor coming on from the Arrowhead Addicts podcast. I'm about to bring him in right now. Matt, how you doing today, sir?
Good. Rio, how are you today?
I'm excellent, man. I'm fiending and I'm itching for some more football. I need more in my life right now, man. How are things in Kansas City right now?
It's good. It's good. It's been a long off season, but it's quite good to have like real football back, even if it's preseason, right?
Even if it's preseason, I've watched every game. I watched our game maybe 3 times over. It is the best time of year, but let's get right to it. The Chiefs, y'all are going through life without Tyreek Hill right now. I think the media narrative, they're kind of embellishing how much that's going to impact the team. I think people are forgetting how all-time great and insane Mahomes is. How much of an effect is it going to be losing Tyreek Hill?
Man, that's a great question, and it's the wild card that I think a lot of people don't know. I will say this: I think that Mahomes is great, but Tyreek Hill, I think he's a future Hall of Famer. I think he would. Tyreek was like probably, if you carry out his stats and average production, he was like one half of a season away from resetting all of the Chiefs wide receiver records. Like it was the worst timing, because he should be like heralded as like this all-time, like maybe the best Chiefs receiver ever. And they trade him right before he can like reset all those marks.
I know. Dude, he's electric. He's the most exciting receiver to watch by far.
He is. I will say this, though. The Chiefs were always razor thin at wide receiver. So it was like Tyreek, and you have Travis Kelce, of course.
And then the field.
Yeah, you're right. And then a bunch of replacement level players, I think. You saw one of those guys, Demarcus Robinson, sign with the Raiders in the offseason. And then they just cut him in the first 5 cuts of the preseason that were due on Tuesday at the NFL deadline. So already you were just seeing, hey, the guys that Mahomes was forced to throw to the last 5 years, some of those guys can't even make it beyond the first like 85 man roster with the Raider, So this is a deep crew, man. This is a very deep crew for the Chiefs right now, even if they lack the elite level play of a Tyreek Hill.
So I imagine with the signings of Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, that name always throws me off. Those are going to be your main guys, your starting guys on the outside. And how does the rookie second round, how does Sky Moore fit into the equation of the receiver room?
Boy, everyone's looking great. I think you're right. Juju is going to work really well with Travis Kelce and their ability to just create all kinds of mismatches in the middle of the field. I love what Juju's bringing early. They seem to have great chemistry. MVS, we seem to lead the league in hyphenated last names now, which is going to make my job. It's going to make my job a little bit harder when I write about it. But Marquez is filling in very well. He had a case of the drops with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, like that was an issue, and that's actually shown up in the preseason for the Chiefs. So there's a little bit of hesitation there to like trumpet that as like some major signing. One of these guys is going to be 1,000-yard wide receiver. It's got to be somebody. The production has to go somewhere. Sky Moore is separate. Like, his separation was already pro ready. I mean, it's silly how quickly he gets open and can create space for himself. And then he had the largest hands of any receiver in the draft, despite being a smaller guy. So he's looking great. And let's not forget, McCole Hardman is also there too as a holdover to give them another guy to go with Travis Kelce and then those rest. So it's a deep squad. It's a really deep squad, I think. And they're looking good.
And I think that people sleep on the 3-headed monster you guys have at coach, GM, and quarterback. Andy Reid, Brett Veach, and Mahomes, y'all have the foundation to just keep the ball rolling with this sustained success. Ever since Mahomes took the helm there, all you guys know is the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
So I don't see how this big drop off comes because you lose Tyreek Hill and Tyrann Mathieu, who are huge parts of what got you guys to the situation. But the core of it all is there in Travis Kelce. I'm looking at your running back room. You guys signed Ronald Jones. He was a little bit of a disappointment in Tampa. How does he fit into the running back room? And is Clyde Edwards-Helaire finally going to live up to the first round status of his draft position?
That's what everyone's hoping. He looks the part. In February, I had the chance to talk to Clyde, and Clyde told me that actually last year at this time he had gallbladder surgery. Said he got down to 160 pounds, which is 50 pounds below his playing weight. Then had to regain 50 pounds last offseason to then get back into playing shape. I just think he's had a stretch of he's had some inconsistency, but I think there's just been a series of injuries or health concerns that have kept him from being what he wants. I will say with Ronald Jones, everyone had high hopes for Ronald, but it's looking like he may not even make the roster at this point. He's been really disappointing in the preseason. Pass protection not holding up, not generating any real yards in the first game. He had -2 yards in the first game for the Chiefs. If he plays on Sunday, he's playing for a job against Washington. So maybe he shows up inspired, but they've got other guys to kind of take the roles there. I wouldn't expect Rojo at this point to make the roster.
So it's looking like it's going to be Clyde and McKinnon.
Clyde, Jet McKinnon. And then they drafted, before the draft, Brett Veach said, I think one of these seventh round, he said one of the late or even seventh round running backs could be 1,000-yard guy.
Pacheco, right?
They picked up Isaiah Pacheco out of Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think he'd be that guy based on his Rutgers tape. But then again, Rutgers doesn't exactly have great, offensive line play. It takes the right guy in the right system and the right scheme. So he's looking the part for sure early as a contributor. I don't want to hype him up too much. If you're within Chiefs Kingdom right now, everyone's inflating this guy like he's going to be the next Kareem Hunt. It's silly. It's overblown.
Oh, that's what we do at this time of year, though.
Yes, it's what we do.
Trust me, if there's one thing I know here in Washington, we know how to inflate a player that may not ever have an impact, but we will treat him like he is being fitted for a gold jacket because that's what we do as fans.
That's great. That's what's happening with the Chiefs right now. So that's why Ronald Jones would be out of a job because Pacheco's looking good.
Looking at the defensive side of the ball, you kind of lose the heartbeat of the defense and Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger, what he meant to the team communication-wise on the field, off the field. But you bring in a younger guy, 25-year-old Justin Reed out of Houston. Is he looking to take that role over as the leader of the defense?
Yeah, it's really interesting. They both came from the Houston Texans. They both signed 3-year deals. They both were moving into their later 20s. Reed really looks the part. He's saying all the right things, leading in all the right ways that we saw Tyrann. I will say this. Tyrann to me is a one-of-a-kind player.
One guy.
He leads with his heart and passion for the game are so infectious. Even as a viewer, you're just drawn in to watching Mathieu in a way that you're that's not true of 95 or 99% of guys. So I think losing him is going to hurt any team. Reed is a great consolation prize. That's not a slight on Justin Reed. It's just the nature of, I think Tyrann Mathieu could have an arguable Hall of Fame case, or at the very least, if you watched him in his prime, you're going to remember that forever and go, oh yeah, one of the greatest safeties I ever saw was Tyrann Mathieu. So yeah, it's a big loss, but I think they will still be fine.
And the story was great too, because we didn't even know if he was going to be able to go to the league and do it after the stuff he got into at LSU.
Yeah.
And then he got drafted and then boom, he took off. He dealt with some injuries, bounced back from them. His story is one of those that you definitely followed along the lines of the NFL. But I'm looking at your linebacker core. You got a guy that I liked last year out of last year's class, Nick Bolton, a Mike Backer who I loved in this year's class, even though we ignored the position. My guy, Leo Chenal, and you bring in Jermaine Carter from Carolina, which we know very well because Ron brings a Carolina player in every other week here. That's a guy I thought we would have took a shot at. What's the linebacker core looking like so far?
Man, they are the best linebacking core we've had since Derek Johnson was in his prime. That's for sure. Nick Bolton led everyone in tackles for loss last year, and he didn't play it a little bit later, and he did it as a rookie. I
definitely didn't get that from Jamin Davis over here.
Yeah, I love him. You mentioned Chenal. I think Chenal's going to take a little bit of time to be pro ready. He's pretty rough around the edges in some ways. But he's also incredibly gifted. I think he's going to learn pretty quickly. We're also not talking about who I think is the most talented guy on the roster. That's Willie Gay Jr. They took him in the second round before Nick Bolton. It's been second round, third round investments. And I think that core in the second level is I think they're going to be incredible as a unit once they all grow together.
Okay. And looking at the rookie class, you had 2 first-round picks this year. Yeah. I hate when I see great teams just get blessed with 2 first-round picks. They were back-to-back, or there was a pick between them, right?
Yeah. They traded up, but yeah, they were back-to-back originally.
You guys
did lose Tyreek to get them, so there was a cost there. But yeah,
true, definitely a cause. And you guys get the third best corner on my board, Trent McDuffie out of Washington. Washington corners have that reputation of always hitting in the NFL. And then you go get a Purdue DN, George Karlaftis, who's one of the most technically sound DNs in this class. Is McDuffie looking like the cornerback 1 for you guys? Is Karlaftis working his way into the starting lineup, or is he being eased into it?
Yeah, great questions. So McDuffie's looking the part for sure. Those Washington corners, the last time the Chiefs went with a Washington corner, it was Marcus Peters, who was maybe the most fun corner for me to watch in my years as a fan, because he's such a ball hog. McDuffie lacks those ball skills in particular, but he's just as instinctual. I think he's going to be disruptive out there. So he and L'Jarius Sneed, form a great tandem there. Karlaftis, people were worried about his bend. Last week against the Bears, he was a total monster. It was all anyone could talk about in Chiefs Kingdom was just how incredible Karlaftis looked. And, of course, look, that's against the Bears.
Yeah.
It was against first and second string, whatever. But, he's still so young. He's 21. I sat down with Karlaftis's line coach after they drafted him because, his production went down in college.
Yep.
And he ended up saying, hey, look, what people don't know is that Karlaftis was dealing with some injury stuff in his last year. And then because he kept hearing that he wasn't athletic enough to have the bend like some of the sexier guys chosen above him, they said he was actually changing his approach to try to be more like those guys rather than just like sticking with who he was and what he knows. So they said, anyone who paid attention would know that it was actually a down year. He's still only 21 years old. Like he could just legally drink by the draft. I mean, it was crazy. So the Chiefs are kind of betting on, hey, look, here's a still very young guy who's been hyper productive in the past, and now he's looking the part with proper coaching. So it's pretty exciting if they can hit on both first round picks. That's for sure.
Yep. And both of those guys are pretty much locked in to start so far.
Yes.
You love to see it when you draft a guy and they just fit right in, man. Some of the guys we've drafted, it's been a work in progress, but we're going through a bit of a name change here. We have a new permanent moniker. We had to get rid of our former moniker. We're about to pick a new mascot. What you guys have like a wolf mascot, right?
Yeah, KC Wolf.
KC Wolf.
Yeah.
Like fans really wanted Wolves or Red Wolves to be the name. We ended up going with Commanders, but we have a mascot vote going on right now where we're picking between whether it's going to be a hog to reign in the history, a dog, a historical figure, or a superhero. What do you think would be a decent mascot for the Commanders?
I got to go I would think I'm the history guy. Like, I'd love anything that pays
Dogs.
tribute to that, right? I mean, what do
Yeah.
you think it's gonna be, or what would be your
I
vote?
think 100% it's going to be a hog because they're trying their best to rein in everyone who's still not acclimated to the change. It's going to be some type of hog and some camo and then some commander's gear. As long as it's a cool mascot, I'm cool with it. Do you think, like, because Chiefs is not an offensive name in any way, form, or shape? It's a high regarded position within the culture. Do you think the Chiefs will ever be caught in the cancel culture spear and have to think about changing their name?
That's a good question. When Cleveland changed when the Major League Baseball team Cleveland
Indians.
changed from Indians to Guardians, it really felt like, okay, well, the next dominoes to fall are either the Atlanta Braves in baseball or like the Chiefs in football. It felt like that was going to happen. Um, some fans say that'll never happen, and other people say, man, it's only a matter of time before these things eventually kind of correct themselves. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. I'd have a hard time even guessing like what would happen there. Who could have foreseen the way some of these changes have already happened? So who knows?
Yeah, you don't know. You never know with today's culture. Do you think, at least at minimum, someone's gonna find offense to the tomahawk chop thing that you guys do? Because I know
Yeah.
our fans, they're so scorned and they're so rowdy about all the changes that we had to go. They look at a Chiefs game and they're like, they're doing the tomahawk chop. Why can they do that, but we can't have the Redskins?
I totally get. Yeah, I mean, there are people who are already up in arms about that kind of thing, or in terms of like maybe some of the traditions, like, oh, they've reappropriated our culture, that kind of thing. I get that. Like, I'm not a part of that. Like, I'm not American Indian. I would never want to suppose for someone else what they should be offended by, not be offended by, be okay with, not be okay
Yes.
with. And at the same time, there's a history with the franchise that has like nothing to do with some of those things. So yeah, I I tend to play neutral on these things. So
I don't think y'all are going to be forced to change your name. One, because Chiefs is not, it's not directed towards the color of skin, whether that be a pride aspect or not. Two, because you guys are not owned by Daniel Snyder. I think that plays a part as well. And that definitely played a large part in it. You guys are a more respectable franchise for the long term. I know you got to run because you guys got a live going in the next 10 minutes or so. How long do you intend the starters to play for you guys this week?
boy, I would think a maximum of one quarter. I mean, Mahomes played just 2 series last time. You may see some starters a little bit longer than others, but if you want to watch Patrick Mahomes, you better watch the very first part of the game.
Yep. Okay. So, how about the defense or like some of the younger guys that are working their way in the start?
Yeah,
Because since there's only 3 preseason games now, wouldn't teams be treating this like the dress rehearsal game if that still
yeah,
exists?
yeah, I think so. You may see a full half for Karlaftis. You may see a full half for McDuffie. Some of the linebackers we've been talking about, you'll see plenty of Chenal. You'll see plenty of Chenal, that's for sure.
Okay, I definitely want to see some Chanel. Okay, now from an outsider's perspective, when you look at this Washington Commanders team, Carson Wentz at quarterback,
Yeah.
Terry, Curtis Samuel, and Dotson on the offensive side of the ball, Chase coming off an injury, the D line, the pieces we have on defense. What do you see from an outsider's perspective? How good do you think this team can be?
Boy, I think the pieces are there for a, a really incredible team, except I'm actually from Indiana originally. So I was watching Wentz really closely last year, and
Mhm.
I'm just not a believer there. But
Oh,
the amount of talent overall on the roster, I mean,
he doesn't have an excuse here.
yeah, true. I mean, I wish you well for sure. I think a 500 record, I think above 500 record for sure. I wouldn't surprise me if they punch a postseason ticket, maybe even win a game. There's a lot of defensive pieces to love. I mean, if I'm the Chiefs, there was a time when the Chiefs were looking for defensive line help, and I'm looking at Washington thinking, man, there's got to be one or two guys who could be wiggled free based on the sheer depth of talent that they have there, and wondering what was going to happen maybe with Payne, some other players there. And also you got some incredible skill position players too. I mean, you may have a horrible owner, but
we certainly do.
But some making some impressive personnel calls, that's for sure.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you. Give me a season record prediction for the Chiefs, and I'm gonna let you go.
12-5. Say
12-5, and back in the AFC Championship.
Back in the AFC Championship, I'm not a believer in the Bills like most people are. I think it's Chiefs all the way until the Bills prove otherwise.
They do have to prove it otherwise, and Mahomes was pretty much a bad throw in the fourth quarter away from going to yet another Super Bowl. I appreciate you, my guy. Keep doing what you guys do over there at the Arrowhead Addicts podcast. I'm going to go ahead and let you exit. You can let people know where to find you before you go.
You got it. Hey, yeah, we're on Twitter at Arrowhead Addict and, of course, arrowheadaddict.com. Rio, thanks so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely, man. You have a good one, boss.
Take care.
All right, chat. Now we can talk about the Washington Commanders now. We can talk about what we want to see in preseason game number 2 because my guests had to run because they got their own stream that they need to do. So y'all start shooting the questions in the chat and let's talk about what we need to see. Someone earlier in the stream asked, has Dotson shown up or anything? Dotson is having a phenomenal camp and he would have had a nice catch on a deep corner route in preseason game number 1. Wentz put a perfect ball on him. He was held, he threw the flag, and still almost caught the pass. I want to see our starters play for a full half on Saturday. I don't need to see Curtis Samuel for a full half, maybe a couple series or so, but especially the defense. This preseason game number 2 is about what the defense looks like because we're getting a test. We're playing against a premier quarterback. Top 2, may not be 2. Possibly the best quarterback in the league. I need to see what this third down defense looks like. I need to see what the pass rush looks like. Yo, Big Bag Terry, you are hilarious. He does look like Andrew Norwell. I wanted to laugh so bad during the jump, but man, that's my guy, man. Let me see. I want to see Sam Howell play the whole second half. Abel, talk that talk. We know who Taylor Heineke is. He is at the zenith of where he's ever going to be in his career. We don't need to see much of Taylor Heineke. Let that man run a series or 2 and just let Sam cook because Sam may be the future of this franchise. DeAndre said we need them boys to cover the intermediate, man. And we need to stop sitting back in these loose-ass zones, man. We sit back in these zones where the cornerbacks are almost sitting at the sticks. Everything's in front of them. You're almost giving up 7 yards of play because of it. And it's absolutely ridiculous. We're out to see what the secondary is all about. Yeah, we're going to see because Tyreek Hill is gone, but that room has more depth than it's ever had in that wide receiver room. Marquez Valdez, Scantling, Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman. They still got some guys. And Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, I need to see what Jamin's talking about, what Cole Holcomb was talking about, because the linebackers weren't particularly too sharp. We let Baker get away a couple times. And we know Mahomes is a slippery little devil. People are going to eat their words with Carson Wentz because this is the most weapons he's had, and people are judging him off that. Facts. I believe so. There's no excuse for him here. If he fails here, he's just not cut out for the big time because he has everything he needs at his disposal. He has a full running back room. The offensive line was mauling dudes on Saturday. He stood in the pocket strong. Andrew Norwell was putting dudes in the ground. Wes Schweitzer was putting dudes in the ground. He was playing with our 4th tight end, Armani Rogers, and he was looking for him early and often. All but the deep pass up the left sideline to Terry McLaurin was accurate. And I think he underthrew that one because if he overthrew it, Terry was either going to get drilled or it was going to be an interception. So I can at least understand it. I'm not excusing the one kind of bad incompletion that he had. Everything else was sharp. He knew where he wanted to go with the ball. Ball was out in a hurry, and he took the layups. There's been a pointed emphasis on Carson Wentz taking the layups here, not forcing every play to have to be do or die, make or break. I have to make a play here. Tony said, I want to see Gibson hold on to the football for a whole game, please. We as a fan base need to see it. And I want to get something off my chest. Fans, we are not hating and wishing ill will on Antonio Gibson. We want him to stop fumbling the goddamn football because he led all backs in fumbles last year. He's fumbled at least 4 times in camp. And on his second carry of the preseason game, with this rookie that we drafted in the 3rd round staring down his neck, he fumbles. He robs the offense of a possession after getting its first down of the game. And then the rookie comes in immediately, 10-yard gash, boom, catches a pass, boom, screen pass, boom, and gets in the end zone. So Brian Robinson has got the majority of the starting reps since. He's been getting a lot of them in practice last week as well. And it may be best for Gibson to be RB2, used in more of a scat back, change of pace type guy, and to get limited touches. We don't know. He was a great returner in college. They got him working with the kickoff return and punt return team now. They had him on the punt team, which is wild. But honestly, Ron's a military guy. So you're going to be reprimanded when you're not performing, and putting the ball on the ground is inexcusable. I seen a guy on Twitter yesterday try to blame the fumbles on Coach Jennifer King because what is a woman coaching for who's never played in the league? Bless your heart. Fumbling is a you problem. It's not a coaching problem. We need to cut it out, and we need to see better ball security out of my guy. Sam Howell looked damn good as a rookie. He doesn't look raw. He looks like he has polish to him. I'm excited to see as much as possible of Sam Howell after Wentz comes out of the game. We have the right now and the future on the roster, and we have the solid security blanket backup in Taylor Heineke. But Sam coming for that spot. The D-line played great, but I need to see more from our safeties and linebackers. I need Montez Sweat to hit home. He gets home to the quarterback a lot, but he doesn't finish most of the time. I need him to be able to finish these sacks because his motor is crazy. Show me some more handwork. Steven Parker, my players of the game, outside of the obvious Sam Howell, were Steven Parker, Chris Paul, the guard we took out of Oklahoma State, out of Tulsa in the 7th round. That dude was out here mauling and laying folks down. And Daniel Wise, D lineman, that boy was in the backfield every play. But this Parker kid, there's definitely something to him. He was in the backfield. He was flying all over wherever the ball was, you was going to find 16 there. I'm more worried about the defense this year than anything. Me too. Jack's on the hot seat. Them boys got to perform because they have everything they need. The defense has too much talent. They've been building this shit for years. But I still think the offense is going to be the leader of this team this year. Like, I definitely think the offense is going to be the leader of the team this year. Say it again. What's going on, brother? What's going on, my guy? How you feel, man? How you living? How many fumbles has Gibby had since being here? 7. He's at 7. I believe he's at 8, but 7 counted. That's a lot in your first 2 years, and it's not like he was getting 30 carries a game to get those 7. And not only were there 7, it was the time of when he fumbled. He pretty much lost us our week 1 game versus the Chargers last year because we had the biggest momentum shift of the game when William Jackson caught the pick in the red zone on Justin Herbert, and he immediately gives them the ball inside the 10-yard line to take the lead late in the 4th quarter, and that eventually lost us the game. The D-line, let me see what else we got going on here. 7, I think. Yeah, 7. I think it's 7 or 8. No, boy, I can actually see him breaking a few. Also, speaking of breaking a few, Gibson has like 1 40-yard run. Outside of the Thanksgiving Dallas game and the Buffalo game last year where he took the screen 80 yards, we've not seen the 4.3 speed and explosion that he played with when he was a receiver at Memphis because he put on about 20-25 pounds to play running back and the explosion lacked. But honestly, fumbling is not Antonio Gibson's biggest issue. His biggest issue is that since he's still learning the running back position, his indecisiveness his vision, and not seeing holes when they open in daylight, he leaves so much to be desired in yards on the field. I think that is just as much of a concern as the fumbles for Antonio Gibson. But I'm excited to see Brian Robinson out there getting the first snaps versus a starting team in a formidable defense with a great linebacker unit. I want to see what he looks like in that starting role as the bell cow this weekend. Secondary looked very scary. Kendall Fuller looked lost on that touchdown to Hollywood Higgins from bum-ass Sam Darnold in the first quarter. I need to see them do better. Third down defense. That's the biggest thing I have circled, man. Look at Adrian Peterson. He had problems fumbling the ball. You know the difference between that, though? He was Adrian Peterson, and he was innately gifted, talented, rookie of the year, absolute monster. Antonio Gibson and Adrian Peterson, they're nothing alike. There's nothing about them that is alike. And you put up with fumbling problems when you have an absolute elite Hall of Fame type talent that you could see was a Hall of Fame type talent from the day he stepped in the building. There's a big difference in that. Small sample size of Howell. Be careful. I'm not writing a check on Sam Howell off one game. It's just I don't think he should have been a 5th round pick in this draft. He was one of the better quarterbacks in this class. But I'll tell you this. It won't take me much to know that he's better than Taylor Heineke off the fact alone that he was draftable and he produced at North Carolina. He's already over Taylor Heineke in my books. I know y'all love the guy. He's a great story, but let's call it what it is, man. Sam has a live NFL arm, and he's decisive, and it doesn't take an hour to process, and his passes don't take an hour to get there. Put Antonio Gibson in the slot. I don't think he has the shiftiness in the slot. Like everybody keeps saying, I don't think he has that shiftiness and lateral movement that he had at Memphis to be in the slot. Everything y'all want Gibson to be, that's what Curtis Samuel's going to be here for us this year. I think Carson looked sharp. I think he stood tall in the pocket. He took the layups when they were there. He hit on all the throws that he needed to hit on, minus one deep ball to Terry. Armani Rogers should have came down with the first drive of the game when that was dropped on 3rd down. He looks comfortable in the offense, and the ball was coming out. He wasn't holding on to it. He looks in command. You see what I did there? He looks in command of the offense. The guys seem to love him and react to him well. The linebackers look bad. Yeah, Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis probably look better than Cole, but they didn't look too sharp. No one has brought in Collins. No one's in a hurry to bring back Collins. If we need Collins, we can get him back at any time because he has garnered no interest league-wide. My man is still on the streets as we speak. I think Jaret Patterson makes the team as the practice squad. I don't think he makes the final roster. I think if a 4th running back makes the roster, it'll be Jonathan Williams. But I think we keep Robinson, Gibson, and McKissick as our 3 running backs on the final roster. What up, Trader Wave? I think Gibson needs to be 3rd down running back. I mean, that's what McKissick is. I think he's just going to be the lightning, change of pace when Robinson needs to be spelled. Yep, 100%. Bud Hundo, smash that like button from it. Yeah, y'all smash the like from. Appreciate y'all, man. Smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're at 4,600 subscribers on the channel right now, and that's thanks to everybody that's in this chat right now, everybody that pulls up on the comments and shows love to the boy. It's one big community. We're trying to get these next 400 subscribers before week 1, so let's get to 5K and definitely smash that like button, man. I'm a little concerned about the tight end position. Hopefully Thomas comes back sooner than later. I'm actually not too concerned as long as Cole Turner is being put on ice because he's the guy right now. Cole Turner, from the 5 practices I've been to, Cole Turner looks like him. He's going to be the starting tight end to start the year. Logan's going to miss some time. Chase is going to miss some time based on what I've seen from the side field work and from what I'm hearing the coaches say. They're being patient with both of them, and they don't look like they're going to be ready early September to play. I'm excited about a tight end room of Cole Turner, Armani Rogers, and John Bates to start the year. They look the part. They got wiggle to him, and there's pass catch ability for days in that young tight end room. Shout out my boy Ben. What's going on, my guy? Happy belated, by the way. AD had like 14 fumbles, but a load more carries. Hell yeah, he had a load more carries because he's an absolute workhorse. He came into the league elite. There's definitely levels to it. There's big levels to it, and there's a difference between that. Rich O'Flair, what's going on, my guy? Michael Starkey, crappy recruiting by UNC, call Sam, not talent. 100%. The boy was projected to be the top pick of the NFL draft and lost Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, Daz Newsome, De'Ami Brown, and more all in one draft. And he still didn't put up terrible numbers last year. Dude almost ran for 1,000 yards and 10-plus touchdowns and threw for 25 touchdowns in his final year in college. Like, to act like there's no reason in hell Sam Howell should have got drafted 50 picks after Matt Corral. Matt Corral looked like dog shit versus us on Saturday, by the way. What's going on, Tim? The 2023 mock drafts have 4 quarterbacks going 1 through 4. I think a lot of teams value the 23. Yeah, they did. And that's why they took a dump on this year's quarterback class. It was Kenny Pickett in the first, and we didn't see another quarterback taken till 48 hours later. It was crazy. There was Malik Willis and Corral in the third, and Howell going in the 5th. But, be wary of the quarterback. Be wary of the quarterback draft or the year of the quarterback thing, because they said the same thing about the 2018 draft. And Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, the 2 guys that they said were raw and were projects, they're looking like the superstar cream of the crops in that draft class. Meanwhile, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold, they are on the track to being journeymen that are going to see multiple rosters over the course of their careers. So tread lightly on the year of the quarterback thing. I love the top 2 guys. The top guy, CJ Stroud, Ohio State, baller. Bryce Young, his size scares me a little bit. He has a really slight frame. He's not a big quarterback on top of it, but his head, what he does up here in between the ears is impressive. And I like the Will Levis from Kentucky, baller. Van Dyke from Miami. The kid, Jaden Young out of BYU. There are some guys in next year's quarterback class, but we don't even need to talk about that right now because we have a guy named Carson Wentz, and we also have a guy named Sam Howell waiting in the wings to slow cook for a couple years, and then we can unleash him. What's going on, Ray? Appreciate it, my boy. Thank you for checking in as always. They said Landon Collins was a bad signing back in 19. I mean, he wasn't a home run hitter, but he had his moments. He was out of place. If he would have just accepted earlier in his career that he was a linebacker and not a safety, we might have got much more about him. How about special teams? Sly, I don't ever need to see Sly miss a extra point ever again. He makes everything since he's got here, and he boots everything. I can hit a 66-yarder on Madden with that boy today. As far as returner, it looks like Alex Erickson has the kick returner thing on lock. But, I mean, hey, they got Gibson working with the return team now, and Gibson was one of the best in the nation as a returner when he was at Memphis. So we'll see. Anthony Ayala, my boy, at work watching this epic live stream. What's up, Rio? Make sure you hit my DMs, by the way, man. You requested a rally towel from the preseason game. I was able to grab you one. DM me so I can send you that. Give me your information so I can send you that rally towel. This rally towel right here, inaugural season Commanders one. I was able to snag a few. Scott needs to redefine Gibson. Scheme him up in space. He needs space for his explosiveness to shine. And the slot and an outside run, jet sweep. So pretty much the Curtis Samuel special needs to be what we do with Antonio Gibson, is what my boy Roger said. What's going on, my guy? No, I do not think we should trade Gibson. Okay, see, this is the thing. Being critical on the players don't mean we don't want them gone. Like, I've got a lot of Rio, you're too hard on Gibson. Why are you hating? I'm not hating on Gibson. I want Gibson to be a bona fide superstar. I want him to run for 1,500 yards. But the facts and what we've been presented with so far, the data shows that He may not be that because he has a turnover problem. He lacks vision and indecisiveness. But there's no way Gibson's not going to be on this roster. He's going to definitely be on the roster. He's our guy. We have a solid running back room. We have a more than solid running back room with versatile skill sets. And if Brian Robinson got to be the first and second down guy, the short yardage guy, so Gibson can come in as fresh as we've seen him since he's got here, so be it. We have a three-headed monster in the running back room because J.D. McKissic is a dog, and we really going to see how good he is because he got a little pep in his step. He looks shiftier now that he's in number 23, and he got that strong safety number ripped off his chest. Shit, even a guy like Jonathan Williams just caught my eye this preseason. Jared Patterson is a bowling ball. He's MJD light. Jones Drew light. That boy runs forward. He runs hard. He hits the hole in a hurry. DeAndre Taylor said, I'm high key hoping they bring Landon back at linebacker. I mean, we might as well. It seems like these are tests, these preseason games. Shit, make a call for Roquan. Make the call. At least gauge interest. Gauge what it would take to bring Roquan in. So Cole and Jamin, we can play a lot more bass with a natural mic, but we're not going to get Roquan, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Landon can be brought back. We don't have to rush to sign Landon Collins because the league has showed you the league is not that interested in Landon Collins, and his best fit is here in Washington. So if we want him at any point, the guy's always in immaculate shape. He'll be ready to go. If we call him after the Baltimore game, yo, Landon, we need you to come back, and we need you to do what you did for the last few weeks of the season last year. He's going to be like, bet. Because what's he going to do, turn down work? Ain't nothing being offered to him right now. I think we can still get Landon Collins. Why they going on Wentz, man? He's playing good. Man, you know the guy, they just want to hate on the guy, man. They want to hate on the guy. Why do I hate on the local media? Because a lot of the local media push an agenda. They're not objective. They're not impartial. And they push an agenda and they crap on the team. And when the team claps back, they get their little fucking panties in a bunch and they cry about it. And woe is me. And oh my God, Jason Wright, how could you talk about them? Is Bruce Allen, was he really the problem? And they push agendas. And that's why, besides John Kine, JP and B. Mitch, sometimes Grant and Danny, because those are my boys, Chris Russell, the media can be toxic here. Like, I have no interest in listening to the fucking sports junkies. Like, they're fun. If I want to hear about what parlays I should play on a Sunday, that's why I'm going to the junkies for that. If I want to hear analysis about football and insider scoops from inside the locker room, I'm not going there. I don't hate on the local media. I would rather listen to guys like us, the fan content creators, because we have access and we have impartial, objective takes. And we're not pushing agendas. And the media pushes a whole bunch of agendas, man. What games you planning on going on this year? I'll be at every home game this year, my guy. I'll be at all of them. Peace to you, Rio, in the chat. Yes, sir, my guy, Tony Macaroni. Have a great day, my guy. The weather's beautiful. Fall weather's starting to creep up on us. We're starting to get a breeze on the daily basis. I'm starting to love that. I want our first team players to shake up the Chiefs. I know. I want them to play 2 quarters, for real, for real. I want to see a whole half. I want to see a whole half of Wentz and company on offense. And I definitely want to see a whole half of that damn defense because they got to show me something. They got Mahomes, the God, coming in. They're going to see some of Chad Henne. If Chad Henne's cutting them boys up, it's not going to be a fun day. It's not going to be a fun Saturday for us, man. I wish we could use AG the same way they're trying to use Curtis. Yeah, but Curtis Samuel got that job on lock. There's ways to use him as an RB2 here and still get him plenty of touches, man. We could get that D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, Thunder Lightning combo they had in Carolina going. We good to go. Corey Lott, what's going on, my boy? HTTC, hail to him. Commanders Nation, man. Are you concerned that the bookies has the team as being the 10th best team in the NFC? No, I don't really care about Vegas. You know, I don't really look into all of that. people want to hate on Carson Wentz so bad, despite the fact that right now this is the best set of skilled players and influx of young talent he's played with since he's been in the NFL. And our schedule, not to sit here and say there are easy games. We have the 31st strength of schedule. We're not playing the gauntlet of elite running quarterbacks this year, and we're not finishing the year on 5 straight divisional games and having to trot out Garrett Gilbert on a Wednesday night. Let them. They'll talk to us nice soon. They'll keep disrespecting us, just like they disrespected Terry and the top 100 players countdown. Man, let them keep disrespecting them. F them. Let them disrespect us. Let us go out and earn it. The culture's improving. The roster's improving, man. I'm excited. Put Gibson at the Buffalo. Shit, it seems like everybody on the roster gets a crack at the Buffalo nickel position. We got to make a drinking game out of the word Buffalo nickel, and every time it was you. I have a question for you, chat. I was at the game, but I had to watch the playback a couple times. What did y'all think of Doc Walker in the booth for week 1 of the preseason? Because I thought it was golden. Like, everybody's like, oh, he's unprofessional. He sounds like someone's drunk uncle. He didn't have the decorum of a polished play-by-play guy. Fuck all that polished shit. I thought Doc Walker was great. Even when he was wilding, I enjoyed every second of it. It was pure entertainment. Doc Walker gives that Dan Campbell just old school, gritty, I don't give a shit about filter. I'm going to tell it exactly how it is. I thought he was great in the booth, but he was wilding a little bit. But I would definitely like to see Doc in the booth some more. I need one of them towels, fan. If you have more, I only got a couple more, but hit my DMs on social media. You and Anthony, since y'all were the first two to ask, I got y'all. The rest of them are going to go. I got my pops one and my little boy one. I don't got any, but if I get any more during the year, I'll definitely hold y'all down, man. Hit my DMs, big guy. Gibby's about to turn over his job to be Rob. Corey, I don't think it's about to happen. I think it may have already taken place, bro. I was at practice the other day. I was at practice on Monday. Brian got most of them first team reps, man. They had Gibson working with the second and the third team, man. And Robinson looks the part, man. He's hitting the hole hard. He's coming for smoke. The owner is horrific. Oh, we know that. He is an absolute fucking dweeb. And we're never going to get rid of him. We're stuck with him for life. He's like that family member that you have that no matter how much you think that they can change, they never will, but they're always going to be a part of your life. So we just have to win in spite of that dweeb motherfucker. Darrell, what's going on, my guy? How you feel, man? The local media pushes agendas. The last time this team had a winning record was 2016. That doesn't change the fact that they push agendas. They push agendas all the time. They push agendas about players. They push agendas about coaches. And when they get called on it, they have an issue. They do all the time. I listen to a lot of local media over my time. They definitely push agendas. What's up with Reuben Foster? Heard he trying to come back. I have no interest in the Reuben Foster experience. That man, I don't even know if he has all the nerves that he needs in his legs. I would rather not even bother in that situation. Just give me a quarter and a half. I'll take 5 possessions by the offense works for me. I think the local media pushes the truth, not an agenda. When did the local media push an agenda? Because I don't see it. That means you're not watching enough of the local media because they do that shit all the time. John Keim is like the most consistent, non-agenda pushing objective media guy here. They push agendas all. Get on Twitter every day and follow practice tweets, game tweets. Just look at something as simple as they'll pull up at 7 a.m. at practice and take a picture and say, this is the turnout at practice today. They'll pull up at 11:45 and say, this is how many fans are at the game today. They push plenty of agendas. Get on Twitter. I don't know if you're on Twitter. Get on Twitter. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The agendas are pushed on a regular basis, and it's toxic, and it's negative, and they don't understand when they get clapped back at why they got clapped back at. And I'm glad to see Ron and Jason get spicy with them motherfuckers because they be getting entitled as fuck. DC is a pipeline to branch out and get to the 4-letter network or NFL network. So I get why they do push agendas and they do these articles and they do these things to try to garner national attention. But yeah, man, I hope we see the white on burgundy theme on Saturday. We're away. I believe we're wearing burgundy on Saturday. We're wearing the burgundy uniforms. We'll probably wear burgundy on burgundy. From what I was told, the pants jersey combinations will start when the season starts. And I think week 1, we're wearing white jerseys on burgundy pants. I think for the preseason, we're just wearing the base combos, which is the color rush look, which is white on white and burgundy on burgundy. Almighty Finesse was good, my guy. Commanders are garbage. No, sir. No, sir. We won 7 games with an XFL quarterback last year. Ain't no garbage over here. Maybe a Kamara Ingram type tandem with AG and B-Rob, except AG is like not like a fourth of what Alvin Kamara is, but I get what you're going for. That would be nice to have. Offense seemed to move the sticks effortlessly in the third drive. Too many options. Something is always open. They were going to do the same thing on the second drive. We got our first down, and then the ball was put on the ground, man. The starting offense, I had no complaints with the starting offense outside the fact that Gibson fumbled the ball. Carson, he took what the defense gave him, and we need him to do that here. Everything can't be a home run. Everything can't be saved. Take the plays, throw it away when it needs to be. Sharp took what was there, hit Terry on the 17-yarder, hit Dotson on an absolute dime, what would have been a catch and still almost a catch despite the pass interference. He hit a Rodgers on a couple balls that was good. Hit McKissick across the middle. He actually threw to a running back. They told me he can't throw to running backs. He threw to a running back, which set up our touchdown. So I'm excited to see more. I think they let him go vertical a little bit more. We stretch it out a little bit. Pick on the rookie cornerback. Trent McDuffie, first rounder. He's a rookie. Get that boy Terry lined up with him. Get Dotson lined up with him. Pick on the rookie. Go after him. They have a new safety being acclimated, taking over the Honey Badgers role, Tyrann Mathieu and Justin Reed from Houston. Air that shit out. They have a great linebacker core. Put the ball over top of them. I'm excited to see how we do that this year. He was talking about hitting hard. Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. Doc has no filter at all. That man just wants to see skulls get cracked. If a running back gets 2 yards, Doc's like, that's too much. That's too much. I need them boys to build that wall because that's too much. Doc is hilarious. He's very honest. He's very unfiltered, and he is an old school OG. Some of the flack he got for his call, they kind of blew me. Like, let's not act like he sounded like Aqib Talib's dumbass when he was in the booth. And I even kind of enjoyed Aqib Talib too. But let's not even talk about Aqib Talib because he was involved in some bullshit, some disgusting shit that I don't even want to talk about right now. Doc was very honest. He calls it how he sees it, man. Imagine a call of Doc and B. Mitch. They'd be in that joint cussing up a storm and shitting on these players the whole game. They wouldn't even be excited with a lead. Old school granddad. Hell yeah. Big drunk uncle at the cookout, but knows what he's talking about. Wise man energy. That's what I say. Doc was giving it to him, man. I watched the game back a couple times. I enjoyed it. Sounded like my pops in the booth. My pops would be a damn fool in the booth, man. Listening to my pops watch a game. That's why I'm the way I am. That's why I'm so brash, loud, and outspoken, because my pops be giving it up. My pops be screaming at the TV like they hear him. Shit, I think they might hear him, and that's why I'm a loud bastard, man. My father put that in me. Doc was colorful and entertaining. The whole team needs Doc's energy for real, 100%. Hardcore, dominate the trenches, dude. Real football, not the pussy football we run. I mean, I would say pussy football is ran throughout the league now because it's an air-it-out league. It's an air-it-out league for real. Doc is the best and always keeps it 100. He said that's what she said. Hawk been on one today. That's the second time he called me today. Did anyone sing the fight song FedEx Field? And it looked the new grass. The field looks phenomenal. It's about time. It sucks that it took Jason Wright and Ron coming in and saying, Dan, get grass for the stadium, my guy. You're playing on dirt. The field looked phenomenal. The new fight song, the syllables sound crazy because Commanders is a longer word than Redskins, but sounded fine to me. They had a little soul, little blues, jazz feel to it. As long as we're able to sing it, means we're scoring points. That matters more than the trivial nature of, oh my God, it's a new fight song. It's not my old fight song. As long as we singing that shit, I don't care what that motherfucker sounds like. He doesn't give him a break at all. At all. They had Gibby working with the special teams unit. It'd be like that. And like, I always question, like, did y'all play Little League, middle school, and high school growing up? If you was out there fucking up, do you know how bad it was to go back to film on a Saturday morning after fucking up on a Friday night? They put them plays in 4K, slow motion with the laser pointer, and they just absolutely dismantle you, decimate your whole being. And in practice, they make you do extra shit. Go run with the scout team today because of what you did. It's a part of the game. You gotta hold players accountable. We can't be so soft, man. I got a question. How was FedEx and did anyone sing the fight song? The atmosphere was better than any preseason game I've been to in person. The jerseys look great in person. The jerseys look great not in person. I love the uniform. The white uniforms and the black uniforms are phenomenal. The burgundy is fine. They look good. And they look really good with the patch. And when the sun hits the helmet and the glow of the uniform, they look absolutely phenomenal, man. What's going on, my guy? Mander. It's crazy that we don't have no way to shorten the team name. Durs, Manders. And I don't want to hear comments. We're not even going to go there. But Tommy, as far as I know, right now we just have black, white, and burgundy pants. Gold pants have not been added yet. We have not added the Bruce Allen special to the repertoire of the uniforms yet. But as the years go by, they'll definitely be added. And there's a fan fourth alternate uniform that's going to be voted on. When I have more information on that, I'll let y'all know about it. Giants all day, you heard? Hey, Giants all day, man. My man is repping from the bottom of the division, man. Let us know what it looks like above y'all because y'all are going 5-12 this year. But I love the coach GM pairing that y'all hire. I expect to see a lot of Tyrod Taylor this year. Best of luck to y'all. Black, white, and burgundy. Yep. That sucks. I mean, the gold pants will get in there eventually. There are rules and regulations to this, guys. Like, you only get a certain amount of uniform combinations. Like, we're only allowed to wear the black uniforms twice this year. We're wearing them in the blackout game when Kirk comes to town versus the Vikings and versus the Falcons. You only can wear 2 helmets, and I believe you only get 3 pants combinations. I don't know why these fucking rules exist. Let these teams wear whatever the hell they want to. That makes the game fun. That's fun for fans to see all these different combinations. Let the NFL do what Oregon does and wear a different fucking jersey pant combination every week. I don't know why there's rules like that. Why are players getting fined $10,000 for wearing striped socks? Portis and Sean Taylor used to get $10K a pop for wearing solid color or striped socks every week. I don't know why that exists. I don't know why it exists at all, man. The NFL has a lot of stupid-ass rules that if they could just drop, the league would be more fun. I want one of our new mini helmets. The new helmet's gorgeous. Yeah, man, this thing right here, this isn't mine. I keep forgetting to ship my guy his, but this thing is beautiful. And the full-size version, like, you know, we got the Terry autograph on it from my boy Brad Angel, who makes my logos and all my graphics. Shout out to my guy. I need to be reminded to ship him this. My guy lives in Missouri and isn't able to come out, but yeah, man. Carson didn't throw a left-hand pass. If he does a left-hand pass, we'll max the bro. He started to do one of them shits in practice one day. I almost pulled my hair out, man. As long as he's not trying to do shovel passes and left-hand passes backed up on his goal line, we're gonna be good, man. I believe in Carson. I need the fan base. I need us to all corral, wrap our arms around Commander Wentz. You see this guy? Y'all see this guy? This is our quarterback. There is no quarterback controversy, and we want this to work here. Stop rooting against our own guys. We need the career renaissance year out of Carson. He has all the talent he needs on offense to ball out. We need this motherfucker to be good. How long we got to keep watching all these jag-ass quarterbacks here play? Carson needs to throw for 30 touchdowns and 4,000 yards here. We haven't had a 30 touchdown season from a quarterback since 1967. I was negative 24 years old. I want to see that change this year. I don't know about y'all. I think it's happening. I haven't seen 11 wins since my birth year, the 14-2 Super Bowl year where they beat the Bills. I know y'all are probably sick of hearing me say this shit on this show, but I have to see it happen. It has to happen, bro. I can't keep putting up with this shit, man. I need to see it. Jim Irsay, Matt Ryan can't beat Jacksonville. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Fresh off a cocaine line, he is going to be sick as shit and ready to cut Matt Ryan on the spot. Crackhead ass Jim Irsay. Ron keeps hitting that fans will be so appreciative of their uni combination. They must be rocking the black pants with the white tops. Otherwise, because the white jerseys are going to get the most mix. Cam Curl told me the same thing when he came on the show. The white jerseys are going to be mixed with burgundy pants, black pants, and white pants. The burgundy jerseys are going to be with white pants and with burgundy pants. I don't want to see the black pants with the burgundy jerseys. That's a nasty combination. I see people doing that in Madden, and it's ugly. The black, I don't ever need to see another color pants with the black uniform. I want black from top to bottom. We gooned out. All black, everything. Never need to see a combination with the pants when it comes to that. We're only wearing black twice. Yep, because the league mandates it. We can only wear black twice, and you can only wear 2 different helmets. It's fucking stupid. I hate the rule, man. Mike said, love the content, keeping it real like a true fan. I see you still sliding off the chair of the draft. Yeah, man. I'm eating crow every day since because that boy Jahan has looked like nothing but Terry Part 2, a clone, but with better hands. I'm excited, man. I was still hurt when Garrett Wilson came off that board because that was my guy, man. Giants all the way to the bottom of the pack. Hell yeah, Giants all the way to the basement. But y'all will probably get your pick of what quarterback y'all like in next year's draft class because Daniel Dimes, I believe he fizzles out this year. He gonna cook us though, because he always cook us. Cooley was great. Kevin Sheehan's show was great until Cooley left. And now he has ascended into Thom Lavero Light. And they just sound like 2 get off my lawn ass boomers who just spout negative bullshit every day. And it's hard to listen to. And Thom's voice is like nails on a chalkboard. And Kevin Sheehan is like his twin now, and I really can't listen. Love Doc's animal name. Yo, he's hilarious, yo. He is hilarious. What's up? You in practice tomorrow? My boys are going out there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. I got some car shit that I need to work on. My whip, it's on its finals legs, and I may have to replace it. So pray for the boy. VIP passes. Yeah, I'm on the list for tomorrow. I'm on the list anytime I want to come to camp. Fans were loud. Like, for anybody talking about the atmosphere, I was there. Watch my vlog. Look how lit we were to watch Sam Howell in the 4th quarter of the first preseason game. I haven't seen a preseason game with an atmosphere like that or like the open practice the week before in a long time. People can act like they don't see it, but the culture and the energy in the fan base and within the organization, it is improving, and it is close to the damn good standard that Bruce Allen thought he had here. Enjoy camp, bro. Get out there early. When you see the guys huddle up after they run team drill for the last time, if you're looking to get autographs or access to the players, hurry your ass over to the rope by the gravel road so you can see all the players when they come out. There's good guys. Terry and those dudes, they stay after for about 90 minutes talking to all the fans. I'm good with it too. Doc should be able to say exactly what he wants. Doc is a legend. Doc is a legend, bruh. Truth. What up, Kyle? Rashid, my boy, what up, my unk? What's going on, my guy? Commander Chaplain Rev Rashid in the building. What's going on with you, man? How you feeling on this Wednesday evening, afternoon? Raging Sports Talk. When the hell will we be able to buy the black jersey? I was told October. Listen, I've been asking every day. My guess, a week before the blackout game when we play the Vikings. So, like, first week of November. But A birdie told me Fanatics is trying its best to have the black jerseys available for order in September. But available for order don't mean shit. The Commanders jerseys were available for order on 2/2/22 when the name was announced. Cats are just getting them right now in August. So they're pumping them out. The Vapor Limited jerseys, white and burgundy, are starting to be pumped on there because I'm not a big fan of replica jerseys. It's almost like a t-shirt with the screen print. I'm waiting at some point to get one of the elite untouchables, the authentics. Like I got my joint right here for the Redskins. I like the cuff sleeves, tight look. You know, I'm trying to get back in shape, let the gun show. I want the shit the players wear, and I believe the elite ones, you know, the $300 joints, they're going to have the 90th anniversary patch on them. So I'm waiting to see if those drop. How about the Dubs? Golden State hasn't patented that. I don't know. I feel like they got that though. Like that's theirs. Like I feel wrong calling us the Dubs. I know if I wanted us to have a mascot with just a guy in a W costume called Dubby. Dubby just running around up and down the field, man. Whatever the mascot is, which we know it's gonna be a hog, by the way. Commando hog. I want him to be cool. I want him to be fun, man. Like there's some really cool mascots in the NFL. They do funny shit. Christopher said, what's up, my guy? The D-line is going to get national attention this year. 2 guys going into a contract year. Get to the quarterback. Who's the second going into a contract year? Well, Sweat is going to get the 5th-year option. But, no. Sweat's not going into a contract year yet. But Payne's going into a contract year for sure. And that boy, Fedarian Mathis, is breathing down his neck, and he is a space eater. That guy is a man, a mountain of a man. I want black uniform. I can't wait till we wear the black uniforms, man. I need to stand in a different spot in practice. I'm sunburned. Hey, the best spot to stand in practice for a good view, right next to the media tent, there's a little tent over there. Hurry up and get there because you don't have to be in the sun at all, and they got fans blowing in that joint. He said, I'm half lobster and half saltine right now. That's hilarious. Where can I get this shirt? Okay, my boy Eddie H on Twitter, he made it. He customized it himself, and I don't know where he got it, but I think he just took a picture, took it to a site like Custom Ink or something, put it on a Gildan brand shirt. Well, it doesn't feel like Gildan brand. It's like a quality shirt. Yo, Rio, the Ops Mark Holmes is currently live. Yep. Oh, shout out to Mark Holmes, by the way. Prayers to my guy. He has COVID right now. I hope he's feeling okay. You know he's going to put out 17,000 videos in the next 48 hours while he's quarantined. Hope my guy gets better. I know he's the Ops, but that's my guy. That's a friend of mine, and that is an awesome human. Despite how you feel about the dumbass team he roots for. 12-5, I'm going to have a stream where I come on and I don't say any words, and I just cry. I just cry the whole time. Cry tears of joy. And hope that people come on and cry with me because as a 30-year-old fan, I've never seen 11 wins. We win 12 wins. I'm acting a whole damn fool, bro. Oh, my God, man. Oh, man, I got one of the mini helmets signed by Chase. Hey, man, they be out there, man. They show love. How about the 49ers? I think the 49ers are going to be fired because I believe in Lance. I'm a Lance truther. And more so than a Lance truther, I'm a Kyle Shanahan truther. And if he could make it work with someone with way less upside like Jimmy G, he is going to tap into every ounce of Trey Lance's trajectory and potential, and he's going to turn him into a superstar. Y'all see that deep ball Lance hit last week? Work of beauty. His arm is a beautiful thing to watch. To the Cowboys and their fans, you're going down faster than grandma when she's approaching her nap time. We owe them badly. I hope we get them week 4, but I think we get them in week 18 when we clinch the division. You heard me, when we clinch the division. It's time for that carousel. Yep, it's time for the carousel to end. I'm tired of getting on that ride, man. I'm tired of getting on that ride. I just want to enjoy the vibes. I want to be able to give Carson an extension. I was a fan of the yellow stripe on the helmet. A burgundy and black stripe would be nice too. We can't tweak the uniforms per se till about 3 years, but they're going to make tweaks along the way. Remember, this is the lab rat part of the rebrand. This is all the rollout. This is all new. They're going to tweak it over time. The Redskins uniforms tweaked over time. What's going on, CT? How you feel? I seen your weight loss journey. What can I do and advise? I got up to 300 pounds. I don't want that shit. Hey, listen, man, I still got a long way to go, but May 1st, I was having a rough year. I stepped on the scale, saw 301 pounds on it, and that was a very humbling feeling for me. Ever since, I've been eating a lot of plant-based foods. I'm drinking about 140, 150 ounces of water a day. Me and my boy, my roommate that I live with, we go for runs or walks every morning at about 7 a.m. and we have a weight set inside now. Be active. Go on walks. Go for swims before the summer's over. I stop eating after 7 o'clock. I'm doing everything I can because I never want to see 300 pounds on the scale again. I'm sitting at about 262 right now, which is still too much, but the goal is to get back to my high school football playing weight of 220. I have a stocky athletic build. 220 is lean as shit for me. And when I get to 220 and I get some abs back, I'm going to be cutting up. But man, obsess over it. If you want to lose weight, it's easy if you obsess over it. Weigh yourself at night and in the morning every day to stay on top of it. Count your calories. Get a fitness tracker like a Fitbit, Charge HR or something like that. Track your steps, your heart rate, all that good stuff. Weight isn't hard to lose if you obsess about losing it. And I want to look good again. I want to feel good again. I got a long life to live for my 2 babies. And 300 pounds and being pre-diabetes, that was very humbling for me. They show love at practice, man. If you go out there, they definitely will stay after and do it. Giant fans were so hyped when they got Kenny G. And now Wan'Dale Robinson is getting Kenny G out the paint already. Speaking of the Giants, I'm going to have Steffi Smalls on next week to give a preview of the Giants season and some sports betting and fantasy stuff going on. Wentz Magic, here we go. I'm about to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for pulling up to the midday stream. We're going live again tomorrow night. If you're not familiar with the Trapper Dive podcast, get familiar and subscribe. My guy Jamal Forrest, DC Dre, and my boy AJ, they're coming on. We're going at 7:45. We'll be live for the weekly Rambling About Washington stream. This was your game preview stream for the Chiefs game. For those who tuned in late, Matt Connor of the Arrowhead Addicts podcast joined me for about 20 minutes to give a full in-depth matchup breakdown of what we should expect from the Chiefs side of things. Thank you for everybody that pulled up. Make sure everybody in here smashes that like button. Smashes it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're 400 subscribers away from 5,000 on the channel, and we're only 14 months in to infinity and to beyond and to the moon, man. I appreciate y'all. I saw a kid with the white jersey and the black one yesterday. I was going to grab him, but he like a medium. If he had a white jersey on, it was real. If he had a black jersey on, it was from dhgatewish.com or one of these other sites. Some of these fake jerseys look all right, but I'm going to wait till the real come out, man. Like, some of the jerseys, they got light gray sleeves on it, man. Them Jones, you got to wait on it, man. Need it authentic, man. I'm telling you, this is like my favorite jersey I've ever owned, my Redskins one. Just look at the quality. Look at the quality of the authentic. This is the one the players wear on the field. Cuff sleeves, the stitching, the detail is just absolutely immaculate, man. You know, you can't beat having an on the field jersey. It sounds expensive, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I got a little code for like 20% off to knock something down, but the way I feel is players come and go, but I'm always going to be a fan. So if I buy one expensive jersey, I will never have to replace it. So I put my name on the back of an authentic custom jersey and call it a day. Never need to buy another player's jersey again. That's how I do it with that. But I appreciate everybody for being in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Yes, sir. We could have definitely been 11-6 last year. Appreciate your Wednesday. Thank you for rocking with the channel. More content is on the way. Roger, my guy, CT, Gary, Will, Hawk, the whole gang, DeAndre, Michael, Rashid, Nello, Tony, Lavelle, Luck, Trey, Chase the Radar, everybody. I hope I didn't forget too many people. Shout out to all of y'all for supporting the channel. Let's keep going up. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Take command. Deuces.